Hello and welcome, dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. Yes, dear friends and subscribers. Yes, I'm still under the weather with a sore throat, but nevertheless, your support for this cricket show pulls me to do this cricket show, and also my passion for the game really brings me here. So just put up with me, bear with me for whatever I am going to talk about today with this throat of mine. Well, as far as today's cricket show goes, let's talk about the South Africa Australia match. Well, the outcome is already there. South Africa have already hit Australia hard, and Australia, with their morale down, chasing 430 runs for victory. It was a tame surrender by them, and one could understand that after what were the goings on that happened yesterday with Cameron Bancroft and Stephen Smith guilty of a practice that happened yesterday. And Cameron Bancroft has escaped with 3 demerit points, but Stephen Smith was told by Cricket Australia to stand down. He and David Warner were removed from the captaincy and vice captaincy post, and Tim Payne was the one who was leading the team, becoming the 46th Australian captain. And also for Stephen Smith, it has really, the Australian cricket has taken it in a very, very serious manner. And everyone, even the cricket fans all over Australia, are very, very unhappy about what happened, and why not? And that should be the case. And even it has gone to the extent that the Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has also come severely criticized what happened. So just talking about that, Stephen Smith today morning and David Warner were removed from the captaincy and vice captaincy respectively. Cameron Bancroft was given 3 points, and also Stephen Smith has been banned from playing the final test match against South Africa, and he has also been fined 100% of his match fee. And I think that is the right way to go about. And Stephen Smith, as I said, the Australian morale was absolutely down, so it was never a surprise for me that when they were faced with the chase of 430 runs for victory, definitely a very, very tall task for them. In fact, South Africa took the lead. In fact, they collapsed from 57 for 1 at one stage to lose all the 10 wickets for just 50 runs to be all out for 107. Thus, South Africa taking a 2-1 series lead, and now they would definitely be favourites to go and take the series in the 4th test match due to all the goings on that happened in Australia. So that is one thing which will be covered in greater detail when I talk about it. And then as far as England and New Zealand were concerned, one was a bit surprised as to what happened with England and New Zealand, where the Kane Williamson decided yesterday they had a full day's play possible at Eden Park in Auckland, and the New Zealand Williamson decided that his wards would totally bat, and that's what they precisely did. They declared it 8 for 427, with Henry Nicholls going on to a wonderful century, his 2nd test century. And other than that, some other contributions were there as well. And the Englishmen and the New Zealand took a 79 runs, a massive lead. And England were definitely put under the cosh, especially by Trent Boult, who was bowling very aggressively, and he had reduced England to 132 for 3 at close of play, with the final day's play coming up. Now England would be wanting some more rain to happen here, if at all they want to save this particular test match, as we all know. And other than that, the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifiers, once again, this is the 3rd time that Afghanistan has defeated the West Indies. The ICC Cricket World Cup qualifiers in Harare came to an end with an emphatic victory by Afghanistan over the West Indies, and as I said, by 7 wickets. And also, as I said, this is the third consecutive victory by the Afghanistan over the West Indies, and that is not good news for the West Indies. And well, Mohammad Shahzad was the man who was the man of the match once again. He told in the press conference, as you would remember, after the win against Ireland, West Indies, we are coming. They came and they conquered the cup. And Mohammad Shahzad himself really made those words that he spoke after the press conference count, as he was the one who was the master in this particular innings, where he made 84 runs and he was named player of the match. And Sikandar Raza was given the player of the series, and rightly so. Very unfortunately, Sikandar Raza of Zimbabwe, and as you know, Zimbabwe were pushed out of the competition. So congratulations to Afghanistan for winning the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifier. But West Indies have nothing to worry. They have already qualified. So West Indies and Afghanistan will be occupying those two vacant spots for the World Cup 2019. And good luck to them. Well, one thing that I would like to share before I really start this cricket report is that Rashid Khan of Afghanistan has made history. He has gone on, not only has been the fastest to 100 wickets in ODI history, beating the record of the Australian bowler Mitchell Starc, who took 100 wickets in 52 matches, but he has also been the youngest to it, and that is a sort of a big feather in his cap. So Rashid Khan becoming the youngest and also the fastest to 100 wickets in ODI history. He got it in his 44th match. He just required a solitary wicket when he actually trapped Shai Hope LBW. He made history, in ODIs. And a wonderful job done by Rashid Khan. Rashid Khan, take a bow. Okay, now as I'm talking to you, that there is one more match which is happening right now at the center is the Pakistan Super League finals, where the match has really turned. In fact, Peshawar Zalmi did not put up a good show with the bat at the National Stadium in Karachi. They made 148 for 9 of their 20 overs, and Islamabad United were absolutely sailing so smoothly that Lew Cronkey had thrashed a lot of runs, and they were really going on so serenely. It was a matter of when they were going to get the victory. But then the table has been totally turned around, as right now when I'm speaking to you, the Peshawar Zalmi bowlers have hit really hard at the Islamabad United, and the Islamabad United were reduced. Right now when I'm talking to you, the equation says like this: Islamabad United 127 for 6 currently. They require another 21 runs right now, as the score moves by 1 run here, and Islamabad United require 21 runs in the balanced 29 balls with 4 wickets remaining to go for victory. We will come to that later. But now, as I said, there has been a lot of these cricket summaries have taken a lot of time. I'm really going to do a skimmer on this cricket show. So let's talk about the 4 days play in the 3rd test match between Australia and South Africa. So South Africa resumed on their overnight score with A.B. de Villiers at the crease, and A.B. de Villiers did not last long. In fact, he was sent packing pretty early. He was the first wicket to go today. In the very first over, A.B. de Villiers' wicket was claimed. He did not add much. In fact, A.B. de Villiers, I'm just trying to see how much A.B. de Villiers made. A.B. de Villiers was out pretty early in the piece today. A.B. de Villiers was out for 63. Hazelwood, with the second new ball struck when he caught by Marsh for 63 with 7 fours and 1 6. After that, Quinton de Kock's contribution was 65. He played some nice strokes in 65 with 8 fours and 1 6. And it was only due to Vernon Philander who kept dealing a few blows as he picked up an unbeaten 50, as he was not out on 52 with 6 fours and 1 6. And then Nathan Lyon picked up the wickets of Rabada for 20 with 3 boundaries and Maharaj for 5. and Moni Markel, his wicket was claimed by Hazelwood. And also, Nathan Lyon went on to get his 300th wicket in Test cricket. 373 all out, thus setting the Aussies a very, very mammoth task of scoring 418 runs for victory. Looking at the bowling figures, the spoils were shared by Hazelwood, Cummins and Nathan Lyon, taking 3 wickets apiece and 1 wicket for 98 for Mitchell Starc. Australia were given a target of 430 runs, and here goes the story. Cameron Bancroft and David Warner walked in to open the innings. There was not much fire in them. One could see that with all the goings on that happened. We could see the shoulders were drooping of the Australians, and that definitely didn't look like. They definitely took their time at the crease. They probably tried to occupy the crease here. That was what Australia was trying to do. They had a different approach to what they did in the first innings. Bancroft and Warner were going along very well. They had a measured approach, one could say, and they had put on an opening stand of 57 before, David Warner calling Bancroft for a single, and in the process, Bancroft was run out by Faf du Plessis for 26 with 3 boundaries, and that was the start of a collapse for the Australians. They were 57 for 1 at that stage, 57 for no loss, and then finally they were bowled out for 107. Thus, it was a massive, massive victory for the South Africans. 300, and I would say it was richly deserved by South Africa, and one knew why this was happening, as the Aussies went without a fight here, as David Warner's wicket was claimed by Kagiso Rabada when De Villiers picked up a very good catch for 32 with 4 boundaries. After that, it was simply the South Africans really, I would say, climbing on the Australians. With Keshav Maharaj picking up the wicket. He was on a hat-trick, Keshav Maharaj. First he picked up the wicket of Usman Khawaja. He was gone for 1. Next to go was Sean Marsh. Got a thick inside edge, pushing on to a delivery, and Markram pouched the catch. He was gone for 0. Stephen Smith fell a victim to the bowling of Moni Markel for 7 with 1-6. Mitchell Marsh was out for 16 to Moni Markel, and Moni Markel was the one who was making the ball talk there, and the captain Tim Payne was not out on 9 when the end came. Cummins was claimed by Markel for 0. Starc fell to Markel for 7, and Nathan Lyon was run out for 0. And Josh Hazelwood, a wicket was also taken by Moni. So fitting it was that Moni Markel went on to pick up his 300 wickets in Test cricket like Nathan Lyon. And as we know, the next Test match which is coming up for Moni Markel is going to be the swan song of his international career. And and he also got the man of the match. He picked up 9 wickets in this particular match, and what a proud moment for Moni Markel, which definitely there were a lot of things that happened which everyone would like to forget, but Moni Markel covered himself with glory. 9.4 overs, 3 minutes, 23 runs and 5 wickets. Keshav Maharaj, 12 overs, 2 minutes, 2 for 32. Philander was wicketless, 6 overs, 2 minutes, none for 17. 12 overs, 6 minutes, 1 for 31 for Kagiso Rabada. Moni Markel was named man of the match. So South Africa definitely going for the kill here in the final Test match against the Aussies. And so now, as I said, I have to leave from here, and we have to look at the England versus New Zealand match, which happened yesterday. Yesterday was the 4th day. The rain stayed away, which enabled New Zealand to continue the innings, and Kane Williamson, the New Zealand captain, decided to continue the innings. And Henry Nicholls covered himself with some glory. In fact, he was there till such time New Zealand declared with an unbeaten 145 with 18 very well-timed boundaries in that. And it was his 2nd Test century. Watling made 31 with 5 boundaries. Granholm hit an aggressive 29 with 5 fours and 1 6. Very strong on the pull shot, as we all know, Granholm. Todd Hassel making 18 with 3 boundaries. Tim Southee was out for 25 with 2 boundaries. Wagner not out on 9. And Williamson declared the innings close at 427 for 8. As far as the bowling figures were concerned, Anderson had 3 wickets for 87, 3 for 78 for Stuart Broad, 1 for 70 for Craig Overton, 1 for 13 for Joe Root. Now England, New Zealand walked in with a 379 runs lead, and they immediately started putting pressure on the Englishmen. As Alistair Cook, now Trent Boult was bowling very aggressively. He was bowling a lot of short stuff, and he picked up the wicket of Alistair Cook by forcing him to actually try to put the ball on the onside, and he was caught behind by BJ Watling for 2. That was the wicket number 1, which made it 6 for 1. And then Stoneman really showed some nice stroke making there. He was driving very well, and it enabled him. He made a good contribution of 55, 6 fours and 1 6. And for the first time in this particular test match, we saw Neil Wagner coming on the ball. And Neil Wagner, as we all know, is an aggressive bloke, and he likes to really hit the deck hard, and especially short ball is something which can really surprise a lot. And he has good pace as well, and he really surprised Mark Stoneman with a delivery which actually rose onto him. Stoneman went for the bait, and Trent Boult took the catch, and Stoneman was out for 55 with 6 fours and 1 6. And then David Mallon and Joe Root. Joe Root also was doing a good job just before this happened, before close of play. Now this was the final over of the day, which was coming up from Trent Boult. Joe Root was batting on 51 with 5 boundaries, and Trent Boult, as I said, was bowling very aggressively. The previous delivery, the fourth delivery, he got the ball to kick in and went and hit the finger of Trent Boult. Boult was in some he's in pain, he was grimacing, and then then even Kane Williamson was sportive enough to actually have a word with Joe Root, his opposite captain. But even the next delivery, probably Joe Root would have never expected that Trent Boult would once again come up with short stuff. In fact, it was merciless bowling to me by Trent Boult as he got the ball to bounce, and it forced Joe Root to fend at a delivery, and psychologically he had been really taken over by Boult there, and Joe Root was walking back to the pavilion, caught Watling, bowled for 51 with 5 boundaries. So that left England at 132 for 3, and they have a massive job to go. The only thing that can save England to me would be the rain. David Mallon was not out of 19 with 2 boundaries. Trent Boult, the wicket taker, 224, 1 for 32 for Neil Wagner. So that's the match situation as far as England versus New Zealand were concerned. Now the real skimmer, we are talking about the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifiers, where West Indies were humbled by Afghanistan today in the finals of the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifiers. It was a very emphatic victory. They won the match by 7 wickets. West Indies batted first on a track which was a bit sluggish, one could say, here at Harare in Zimbabwe, and West Indies were really kept on a tight leash by the Afghanistan spinners, as they only managed 204. They were bowled out for 204. Chris Gale continued his very bad run in the tournament. He was gone for 10 with 1 boundary. Evan Lewis making 27 of 36, 6 boundaries. Shai Hope was the 100th wicket for Rashid Khan to make ODI history, becoming the youngest and fastest bowler to 100 wickets in ODI history. Hope was out for 23 with 1 6. He was LBW bowler Rashid Khan. Samuels made 17. Solomon Hetmyer making 38. The highest score was Roman Powell with 44. Jason Holder was out for naught. 14 to Brathwaite. Nurse in the end contributed an unbeaten 26. 204 all out. Look at the bowling figures. Mujibur Rahman, the Rana Mafi, young Rana Mafi, another one almost following in the steps of Rashid Khan, one could say, for Afghanistan. 9.5 overs, no maiden, 43 runs and 4 wickets. Splendid bowling from Mujibur Rahman. Rashid Khan, and was 142. Sharafuddin Ashraf, the left-arm spinner, got 1 wicket with his armour. 7 overs, 1 for 26 for Sharafuddin Ashraf. Mohammad Nabi, 9 overs, 1 minute, none for 37. Always doing a great job. Gulbuddin Naib, 2 for 28, 1 for 20 with Dawud Zadran. And Afghanistan were given a target of 205 runs to win from their 50 overs. Mohammad Shahzad really led the way with a very not a very attacking 84, but I would say sort of attacking 84 from him of just 93 deliveries, which had 11 fours and 2 sixes, which he actually hit with enormous force. Gulbuddin Naib was out 14. Rahmat Shah, as you know, is the rock of this Afghanistan team. stabilizes the innings very well, as we have seen in the tournament. His contribution was 51 with 4 boundaries. But what a way to finish. Mohammad Nabi slamming 3 sixes and 2 sixes actually landing on the roof at long off, roof of the stadium, and then one going over long on to bring an end to proceedings, with Afghanistan winning the ICC World Cup qualifiers against the West Indies by 7 wickets. And thus, as I said, West Indies and Afghanistan are the ones who would be playing in the 2019 World Cup, and congratulations to both of them. 206 for 3. Samila Shenwari was not on 20 of 33 deliveries, 1-4. Mohammad Nabi hit that quicksilver 27 of just 12 deliveries, 3 sixes to actually bring an end to the match. Well, I'm not going to, probably I might not get time here now to go through the bowling figures, probably in a very brief manner. I could say 1 wicket 29 for Kimo Paul, very impressive Kimo Paul, good pace, good bounce, it was very impressive according to me. 2 for 38 for Gale. And the man of the match, as I said, Mohammad Shahzad and Sikandar Raza of Zimbabwe took the player of the season award. He was pretty emotional in the sense, being from Zimbabwe and Zimbabwe not making it to the World Cup, which was very, very sad for Sikandar Raza, and why not? And let's have a live cricket update here coming in from the National Stadium in Karachi, where I'm just trying to see what's really happening here at the National Stadium in Karachi before I leave this cricket show. Well, the match is between Peshawar Zalmi and I can tell you very rightly, after Islamabad United were given a real scare by Peshawar Zalmi, I can say for a fact that Islamabad United has just won the match by 3 wickets to take the Pakistan Super League title. Peshawar Zalmi has been defeated by 3 wickets. Asif Ali has slammed 26 of just 6 deliveries, which contained 3 sixes, and he has closed it. Even after Lew Cronky's blistering 50, it was Fahim Ashraf who actually gave the victory blow when he sent Wahab Riaz over backward square leg for a magnificent strikes, and there are firecrackers blowing around at the National Stadium in Karachi as the match really comes to an end here. And as I said, it's as I'm leaving this cricket show for now by giving you the news that Islamabad United are the new champions of the Pakistan Super League 2018, and congratulations.